Welcome back. This is quite a story. Well, I don't know to call it interesting, but there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to hear from the two ladies we have here that have worked with the Happy Life Mission for 10 years, for 12 years, and handling hundreds and hundreds of children that are going through so much. And we are hearing so much about, and this is eye-opening. There are many people who don't know what happens in this kind of an institution and what happens when these children are actually abandoned. Let me come back to Sarah and tell us how many babies have been rescued. You say 22 years now.
Yeah.
So how many have been rescued through the 22 years?
1,000 children.
Wow, 1,000 children.
Yes.
That's hard to comprehend, that 1,000 children have been rescued through Happy Life Children's Home.
Yeah.
Wow, how does that make you feel? When you mention 1,000, when you think if you put 1,000 people somewhere,
Yeah.
wow, that's a lot of people. What comes to mind?
It's mind-boggling. That is what I would say, that people would abandon so many children.
Wow.
And the 1,000 children are the ones that we recorded. Because they are children that were brought at night by the police. Sometimes they just want temporary shelter. They bring them for a night and they just leave them without the letters. So
Wow.
there are many more that we have not even recorded. So I would say it's more than 1,000 children that Happy Life have rescued, but 1,000 are the ones that are known by the government, have gone to court,
The ones on record.
recorded, have documents here. 1,000. It's mind.
That tells you there's a lot of abandonment of children
a lot of
in
it.
Kenya. And I've seen some of these. I mean, all of these children are actually beautiful, handsome, wonderful children. What happens to these children? I know you said some go to Juja, others, where do they go?
Some are adopted.
Okay.
So far, we have given almost 500 children for adoption. So
Wow.
actually, a lot of these children have been adopted, and around 280 have been returned back to their parents.
Okay.
Because sometimes you think a child is abandoned, but there's actually a parent or a relatives that have their ears on the ground, they are listening. They just want you to take care of the babies for some time for them, and then when they're stable enough, they come.
They come.
But usually when they go back to the police, they have first to be punished. They're put in prison for like 7 months.
It's a crime.
Yeah, it's a crime to abandon your child.
Wow.
So they are put in prison for some time, and then they come back, we give them the child.
So adoption. So how is that? Is it legal? How is the process? Even maybe in a nutshell, how is that? There are people who hear adoption and think, oh, you are buying a child. It's impossible. You have to have a lot of money. You have to be a millionaire. What would you tell somebody who has been thinking about adoption?
Adoption is actually a legal process, and it's such a noble process because you are able to give this child a home. At Happy Life, we call it a forever home.
Yeah.
At least there, because institutions, as much as an institution is a necessary evil, it's something that has been there because there was nothing else that could be done, because people continue abandoning these children, and we need temporary shelter for them.
Yeah.
But institutions are not meant for children to stay there forever.
Yeah.
Because a child needs a personal touch. They need love.
It should be a place of transitioning them to family.
It should be a temporary place, a place where they are transitioning into a family.
Yeah.
And so adoption is a legal process that is done by the government. You have to go through an adoption society that gives you the documents to fill. They give you the paperwork to fill. They will ask you for some document, like they will ask for your medical report, just to make sure that maybe you don't have a terminal illness and you're also physically fit to raise this child. We will ask maybe for your financial statements, just not to see how rich you are, just to see that you have a stable income.
A bit of stability.
Yes, and you're able to feed the child. They will ask you for your good conduct, because then we do not want to give a criminal that sells children.
Yeah.
Yes. So you
Okay.
go through an adoption agency, they will give you the paperwork to fill. Then after they're done with you, they will call you for an interview. After they have vetted you and you're fit for adoption, then they will send you to us. We give
Okay.
you a child. So when they send you to us, what we do is we match you with a child that looks like the family. Because I know there have been a lot of questions from parents that want to know if they can come and choose a child.
Yeah.
But pre-selection is not allowed because children are not things that you get from a shop.
And not like tomatoes. You have to
It's not like avocados that
Okay.
you can't come pinpointing them that I want this one. It is it is for the good of the child when we choose a child that looks like the family.
But you allow the bonding and all
Yes.
that. Okay.
We'll allow them to bond for some time.
Yeah.
Then after that, we give them the child.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's doable for a normal Kenyan.
It's very
You don't have to
doable.
have a lot of money and all that.
90% of these people that have adopted are actually Kenyans.
Okay.
And a lot of Kenyans have picked it up.
Is
there.
it Kenyans? People think also adoption is for those without children. Is that true?
No. A lot of people are just giving these children homes.
Okay.
They already have their own children.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. I hope you are thinking of adopting some.
Yeah, I might actually.
All right.
Yes.
Mary, let's come back to Juja Farm, yeah? So how, somebody who has never been there, where do these children live? Can you tell us how they live? Do they live in a hall, or, I mean, how do they live?
Okay, for Happy Life Juja Farm, our setting is different because we'd like children to live like they're in a home. So when you come to Juja, you find there 3-bedroom houses where
Okay.
children identify with a certain mother of that house. So they grow in a kind of a family. Though there is the big community, they meet outside or in the hall, but at least every child can identify with a certain home. This is where I belong, and this is the mother who brings me up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do they go to school?
Our children go to Happy Life Christian School, which is just our neighbor.
Okay.
And also, for those who go to high school, there is a school by the name Faith Premier High School, which has been a great school for our children, and not only for our children, but also for other children in the community. You have had so many children from different places in Kenya come to this school, children who are needy, and they have an opportunity to learn, which also requires you to support. Yeah, because when you come in, you make all the difference. And we have seen children learn, and now some are completing their high school, and we are so happy to see that there's something happening there. What I can say is that it's a mission field where
So,
people's lives are changed.
For Happy Life Christian School and Faith Premier High School, is it only for children from Happy Life, or is open for all the other children?
Okay, for the two schools, they're open to all students. So a child can come from any part of Kenya because both of the schools are boarding schools. Especially for the primary, whenever your child is in grade 6, the child can come to our school, and there they will get quality education and Christian-based education, where they learn to know, they grow to know God, and they learn also the normal school learning. And also in these schools, both Happy Life Christian School and Faith Premier, we also want our children to come out as great leaders. And also we capture, or we try to search for the talent of these children, because we know God has blessed us in many areas. So these children, you see them manifest themselves with different talent. There are those who are good in music, basketball, plus many others, and we really feels good seeing them realize what is inside of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there a child that comes to mind that really came and they were going through a lot of challenge, and then today you can tell, like a success story? A child you can mention that, this is how they came, they had gone through this, but later on, they succeeded in coming up.
Okay, I would really like to say of our oldest child, the oldest child in Happy Life. Now, I may say he is an adult now. This is a boy who was taken to Kenyatta Hospital by police. He was picked from the, what do you call?
The radio.
Yeah, and taken to, he was hit, maybe somebody or a vehicle hit him. So by the time he was taken to Kenyatta Hospital, he was unconscious. So when he was there, he was treated and stayed here for a very long time. Many years there, nobody claimed the child.
At Kenyatta Hospital?
At the Kenyatta Hospital. So the patients, whenever they needed something from the shop, they could always say this boy.
Wow.
And this boy was brought to us. He was allowed 8 years, and he had not gone to school.
Wow.
So when he came, it's like we wanted to lash him, because also he was growing big, and also he's tall.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm so happy to say that the boy came and fitted. He was able to realize his dream. He's good in basketball. He's good in music. And also he's good in education. And now he's in college. I'm so happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a story.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Sarah, do you have any that comes to mind on top of your head?
Yes, I think majority of these children come here because they have very unfortunate stories.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's why we rescue them. So almost all of them have very heartbreaking stories.
Wow.
But I think I would, the one that stands in my mind would be that of Dennis. Dennis, we rescued him when he was, the mother gave birth to him and put him in a pit latrine.
Wow.
And so,
How old?
He was just born.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, she gave birth in the pit latrine.
Whoa.
She went there, gave birth, and left the baby inside the pit latrine.
Wow.
And so when we rescued the baby, when the baby came to Happy Life, because when the police just rescue, they rush to the nearest children's home instead
Yeah.
of hospital.
Yeah.
So when he came, he had maggots coming out of his ears and
Oh,
his
my.
mouth. It was horrible. And we took him to hospital.
Do you know how long he was in the pit latrine?
He must have been there maybe for a few hours, maybe.
Wow.
Because the person that discovered him him in the
survived.
morning. Discovered him at around 6
How did the
a.m.
person discover this baby?
He went to the pit latrine and there was baby crying inside the toilet.
Oh.
The
Oh
pit.
my. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And so they rescued the baby, and when the baby came to us, even 2-3 weeks after we rescued him, we still had maggots coming from I've never seen anything like that.
Wow.
Now if you see Dennis, very chubby baby, he's
Wow.
in Juja now. How old is he? He's 6. He's 6
6
years
years.
old, yes.
Oh my
In
goodness.
Juja, currently in Juja.
And he survived all this.
And he's survived all that.
Huh.
Yes.
What do you think? I mean, handling, because this is not your child. You have to love them, care for them, hospital, and how do you do that? And what goes through your mind? And of course, not just you, even the caregivers and everybody working there. Somebody who has never been there handled those kind of situations. What goes on?
I always say that nobody ever works at Happy Life because of money. Because you cannot be able to pay, especially our caregivers, the work they do.
Yeah.
Because if you go to like the room that we call the infant A, where we have babies from just born, babies just a few hours old, and a mother has 18 babies in that room that are below 3 months.
Wow.
Babies that wake up in sequences of like every minute there's a baby waking up. So that room, people don't sleep. And so people that work at Happy Life must have a passion for their work. You cannot just work there because you want to be paid.
Yeah.
Actually, we have seen people over the years, anybody that comes there and starts talking about, kwani mnanilipa pesa ngapi, they don't even stay there for 1 year. Because that cannot be your motivation when you're working there.
Yeah.
And God has blessed us with very good women there
Wow.
that are willing to go far and beyond of what they are expected to do. Because here you can't even work we have no working schedule.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even us, sometimes you might be leaving the office at 6, and then there's an emergency of a baby that has been rescued in a ditch. You didn't say, now it's my time to go home.
To go, yeah.
You have to come back and
You
deal
can't
with the
shut the
crisis.
door and
no,
go.
you cannot do that.
It's 24/7.
It's 24 hours we are working with the babies.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Mary, do you have maybe one more story that you'd think that a child that really went through so much and they have survived?
Okay, there's a boy who was brought to us. His name is Oscar. When he came, he found us, myself and other ladies, sitting somewhere. And he came, and the person who brought him introduced him to us.
Yeah.
Of course, he came from Happy Life, but he never stayed there for long.
Yeah.
I think he came during the night, and in the morning, he was brought to us. So when he came, the boy was so traumatized. And it's like, he started saying about the children and a lot of fear. And we wondered, it's like there is a story here. So the mothers, there is something I would like to say, like what Sarah has said. We have great people. Those mothers, they love those children in such a big way, and a great sacrifice they do. So when they realized, as we were talking, that the boy has issues, they flooded him with love. All
Wow.
of them, hey, we love you. Hey, you have come to a good place, and all those things.
Wow.
And it's like the boy started talking about what he went through. You know, my mother beat me up. Kuuma na meno. Kwa mgogo kila pahali.
Wow.
And it's like, what did you do? Why did she do that? And it's like, she left me with a baby. By then he was around 4. She left me with a baby, and I did not take good care of the baby. That's why she beat me. The biting of the teeth,
Yeah,
and the hitting. He was really spanked.
Wow.
And the boy was so traumatized, and that took a very long time for that boy to heal.
Wow.
And there are times we call even counselors, because for some cases they are extreme. And the greatest joy is to see that this boy healed. And now, I don't think even he realizes the stories he gave that day.
Wow.
He is a happy boy, doing music, involved in many games,
Wow.
doing well in class. It's such a great joy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a story. Wow, these children go through so much. It's hard to believe that age, you know, just born, thrown away, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It's very hard. But I think, I believe these children have a destiny. And we can't wait to see in the years to come how they'll turn. Maybe Sarah can share with us one more as we are almost winding up. Another story of another child.
I remember there was this baby that he was later adopted, but he was a child that was aborted. There was an abortion clinic that was closed later by the government. We actually used, before we realized it was an abortion clinic, we had rescued like 10 children from there, and we always wondered why the children looked very premature. And so there's this one baby called John Mark. We named him John Mark. Of course, he was adopted and called another name. But the mother aborted him at 7 months, and he survived. And he was like 1.9 kgs.
Wow.
And I remember that baby when we came, we didn't have the hospital then. The nurse told me to do kangaroo. Like I would put him, he was so tiny like this, I would put him I would work with him in the office, put him under my clothes for like 2 months for him to add weight and for him to survive.
Wow.
And within like 5 months of doing that, the baby was chubby like this. And so it really encourages you to keep on going, and even to rescue the ones. Because I also remember there was Nigel is a big story. When we rescued Nigel, I remember he was bones. Because the mother was a drunkard and she would breastfeed. And there was nothing coming. It was just alcohol and alcohol. And I remember when I saw him, I had refused to pick him.
Wow.
But now, over the years, when you see what Nigel has become, just thank God that you decided to just risk it and rescue the baby.
Wow.
Yes.
When you say he was bones, it means he was
He was like 1.4 kgs, and he was almost 9 months old.
9 months,
And
1.4
kgs, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That was very malnourished, almost next to dead.
Because 9 months should be about
10 kgs.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
So these children go through, as we come to the close, when you see, you know, these children being abandoned, and all of them come through your hands, you know, hundreds and hundreds of children, you know, what comes to mind? What do you tell our people? Because they are the people, you know, out there who are leaving these children. Of course, these women, they are not alone. They are men who first maybe abandoned the mother, and now the mother abandons the child. Mary, what did you tell them? And maybe also there could be children who are listening who are also going through suffering, pain, who have been rejected or molested. What did you tell people who are really suffering and in pain?
Okay, what I would really like to say is that there is hope, especially for the children, because I understand what they feel. You try to imagine what their mind is processing, and especially in our center, that is in Juja Farm, where the children, they know themselves. They are starting to know that they were not meant to be in a children's home.
Yeah.
So they were supposed to be in a normal family, and they ask themselves a lot of questions, plus other children in the community who face so many challenges. Like when we went to Juja, There were so many children traumatized there in the community who came to school. And so we know that even children who are with parents outside there, and some without, some suffer the same things, maybe, which the children in the home are suffering. But what I would like to say, there is hope. Even after a tree is cut, there is a chance for it to come up.
Yeah.
There is a great future for you as a child. Yeah, like what I have said, that those who are in happy life, I have seen them, even those who are traumatized, and now they are big people. They have self-confidence, and there's a great hope that they are making it in their lives. So even for you out there, no, there is hope. Even others who are listening to me and in children's home, there is hope for you. Just keep your focus on God, and also know you can come out of that situation. It's not permanent. And for the parents or the people in the community who choose to abandon, like Sarah said, it's so selfish. There must be somebody who sacrificed himself for the welfare of the other. There's somebody who sacrificed his or her life for you to be the way you are. And yet you cannot sacrifice yourself for this baby. So please, I would like to ask the community, let's take responsibility. I know responsibility, you cannot only take it when things are good. There are times you have to suffer, but at the end, you see the success. You see what you labored for. Like as we are saying now, we saw children come when they are traumatized, and it's a lot of work. Children who suffered, and seeing them grow and accept themselves, their self-esteem is built. It's a long way. So when there's a great success this far, so it can happen even for you, parent. Please take responsibility. Struggle with your child. One time you don't know whether this child will be the one who will make you succeed in your life. You don't know what they have. They are really talented, and there's a purpose why God brought them to this world. Please, we adults, let's take care of children, whether they are your children or children in the community. We have a collective responsibility for every person to take care of the children, especially in African society. We say it takes a village to raise a child. Let's play our part.
Wow, it was said. Mary, thank you. It takes a village to raise a child. And Mary says there is hope. So don't give up. There is hope that things will change, and things can only get better. So those of you who are going through same, or maybe you are neglected or abandoned, or you're thinking of abandoning your children or your family, well, hold in there. Just keep on fighting for that child. How can you leave a child of 1 year or less than a year? Don't even think of abortion. The child you're carrying is innocent. The pregnancy may have happened when you don't feel prepared, but Mary says there is hope, there is a reason, there is a purpose why that child, God wants that child in the world today, because it is the purpose and the plan of God that child be born. Okay. Sarah, in closing, what would you tell the people out there? We don't know who is watching. There could be children, could be people who are still bitter because of what they went through, could be parents, it could be somebody contemplating abortion. I mean, what would you, just whatever, you want to talk to them?
I think what I would say, in the recent past, the government has come up with a program they are calling care reforms. Okay. And they are really encouraging people for children to go back homes. Oh. And on our venture to do what we call home tracing, we have realized that a lot of these children have relatives out there. We know that your sister gave birth to a child, and nobody ever follows up where the child went. So if you're out there and there's your sister that hamonangi mtoto wake, you're not seeing their child nowadays. They had a child once, but nobody knows where the child. So there's a very big possibility that child is in an institution. Okay. It's good for people to keep on following up their families, to know what is happening to the children of that brother of yours that you have not seen for 5 years. And also, I have also discovered there are a lot of people calling us, requesting for them to bring their child or their children to us temporarily for them to go to the Middle East to work. There's a lot of that nowadays.
Okay.
And I would want to tell people out there, these children are better in families. Institutions are not good for children.
Yeah.
They are what we call a necessary evil. They are there because people are still continuing to abandon these children and they need shelter. But an institution is not a place that you voluntarily bring your child. A child needs a family. And for those people out there that have an issue, like a genuine issue, maybe it is a mental illness, maybe it's poverty that you really cannot help, ask for help. There are always people that are willing to help. You can go to the nearest chief's camp, the nearest children's office. Nowadays, almost every police station has a CPU, what we call Child Protection Unit. Go there and report. We have very friendly police officers nowadays that are dealing with children. Go there and report. There's always hope.
Wow.
And those people that think harming their children is the way out. And then they bring to us children that are really traumatized, that are taking years and years for us to really get this child out of the woods.
Yeah.
I think that is not the answer. Don't harm your child. Because we have had children that have their 2 fingers missing, their ears missing, their mother has bitten the finger off.
Wow.
You know, I don't think harming this child is an answer. If you really need help, ask for it. There's always somebody that is willing to listen. Don't die with their problems.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You hear it. Information is power. That you don't have to let your child, your children go through all that. Well, if there are problems, if there are issues, they can be resolved. There is a reason for everything. If there's poverty today, there is lack today, it's not permanent. We've heard from them that they went through so much. You know, Mary went through so much, you know, being taking care of her siblings, and today they are established. So don't give up because of today. There is a tomorrow. There is hope. And we appreciate your time with us and joining us and listening to us. I believe there's information you have gotten. And I want to urge all of you that would want to partner in this program and helping these children. You can imagine 63 babies below 3 years at Roysambu and 112 in Juja who need food, who need diapers, who need formula, who need medical care and all that, caregivers, you know, and housing. You can, you know, clothes and all that. You can be a blessing. You can help them. So I want to urge you, whatever you can do. There's that paybill on your screen. You can decide to do something today to help a child, to buy formula, to buy clothing, to help them to grow and to be what God wants them to be. The Lord will bless you as you partner with this ministry, as you partner with Happy Life Children's Home and helping this child. If you can sponsor a child to be in school, that'll be more than welcome, and the Lord will bless you. God bless you so much. Our time is up. There's so much we can share and talk about, but I want to appreciate Sarah and Mary that have been with these children 10 years, 12 years, and many others who are not here, the caregivers and everybody that have taken a lot of time to be a blessing, our partners, our friends, people who come and bring food, people who support this mission. We really want to say thank you, thank you. There are people who help these children. Some of them have never even seen them, but they help them. We want to appreciate all of you. The Lord bless you and the Lord keep you. And we want to say thank you for your continued support, for prayer. These children need a lot of prayer. They need a lot of help and support, and God will bless you. Thank you so much, and we appreciate your time with us, and continue supporting. If you can sponsor a child, per month, those of you who are not in Kenya, you can sponsor a child for $40 a month. It's only it's only, if you talk about in terms of dollars, it's only $40 a month. Of course, it doesn't take care of all the needs, but it takes care of the basics for the food and formula and the basic. And then for education, you can also, sponsor a child to be in school, which costs about $120 per every 3 months, and you can multiply that by 3 because we have 3 terms in a year, and you can sponsor a child again with about $3,000 to be in school, and God will bless you. That is per year. and God will bless you. So we really appreciate your time with us. We appreciate your help. We appreciate all that God is doing through your life. So Sarah and Mary, thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for loving these children. On behalf of all the other mothers and caregivers who love these children, we say thank you, and may the Lord bless you so much. And God bless your families and your future and your destiny and all you do for these children. God bless you. Thank you. That's all for now. We'll see you next time.